Today on Public Eye News, PETA throws more accusations at the Oswald Bear Ranch and fires continue to ravage California.
Vaughn will have an update from last night's men and women's basketball games, and Grant Lucas will give us our weather forecast. Hi, I'm Caleb Rydell.
And I'm Devon Lanier, and this is Public Eye News. NMU's very own Dan Truckee, director of Beaumere UP Heritage Center, has been awarded the Peninsula's Prize by the Michigan Museums Association. Truckee was presented with the award at the Michigan Museums Association's annual meeting in Dearborn last month. The statewide prize honors an individual or organization that has demonstrated the significance and impact of community engagement over the last year. The CEO of Dickinson County Healthcare System, John Sean, has resigned. According to a statement released by DCHS Tuesday night, Sean will move into a consulting role as the hospital moves forward with organizational restructuring. DCHS is currently working with a law firm that specializes in the financial restructuring of hospitals. The hospital has been on the verge of bankruptcy after two potential buyers pulled out. The DCHS says more details will be announced later.
A traffic violation stop turned into a drug bust after the Delta County Sheriff's Department found meth and a loaded handgun next to a Wisconsin driver. Daniel Hines, the 31-year-old driver of the vehicle, entered a guilty plea Wednesday morning in circuit court for one count of possession with intent to deliver meth. There were two other Wisconsin residents that were also arrested at the campground in Ford River Township. The court date for Hines has been set for February 19th of 2019. The animal protection group called People for the Ethical Treatment of Animals, or PETA, has set its sight on a new target, Oswald's Bear Ranch in Newberry. The conflict started when PETA received reports that the bears on the ranch were shot with paintball guns in 2011, and now PETA has said that they have put in a request to the U.S. Department of Agriculture to investigate Oswald's Bear Ranch. PETA has referred to the Oswald's as a sham operation using the bears for target practice and is looking for the ranch to be shut down. Dean Oswald, the owner, has denied all claims made by PETA and claims that this is the fifth time PETA has made these claims and that they interfere with the regular care of the bears.
Over in Lawrence, critics of a wind energy project in the Upper Peninsula have submitted petition signatures to put the issue to voters. Dozens of turbines are being proposed for the township located in Baraga County, which has some of the highest points in Michigan. A group called Friends of the Huron Mountains has collected more than 400 signatures from township residents to force an election that could overturn zoning changes that were approved by township officials in October. If enough signatures are certified, an election would be held next year. The FBI is examining additional surveillance video taken from an expanded area around the Wisconsin home where a couple was shot and killed and their daughter was reportedly abducted. 13-year-old Jamie Kloss disappeared early October 15th when sheriff's deputies responding to a 911 call found James and Dennis Kloss shot dead inside. Surveillance videos were initially collected from businesses and other locations, according to the Barron County Sheriff's Office. And coming up after the break, we'll have your national and international news.
London has been plagued by flooding for centuries.
London is particularly under threat through climate change.
They built the Thames Barrier and believed flooding was a thing of the past. Now a city that thought it was safe is facing a new reality. Sea levels are going up.
1,000 properties got flooded.
We need clever architects that can build cities that can cope with sea levels and make that part of the future design of the city.
Tonight at 10 and Monday afternoon at 2.
An update on the devastating fires in California that have been classified as the deadliest wildfire in California's history. Authorities are searching through the aftermath of the fires as they search for 80 people that are still missing. They have officially released the names of those missing and say many of them are in their 80s and 90s. The total number of deaths has climbed up to 48 after a report came through identifying 6 more fatalities. As the names were released late yesterday, many new volunteers joined crews to help with the search, and message boards have been filled with details of loved ones' information and pictures. Staff shakeups in the West Wing are nothing new in the Trump administration, and an administration source says there may be more reshuffling that is expected before the end of the year. But the next round of firings and forced resignations could be triggered by First Lady Melania Trump. Nicole Killian has more details from the White House.
It's very important for me that I express what I feel.
First Lady Melania Trump wants Deputy National Security Advisor Mira Ricardel to be fired. In a move surprising administration observers, the First Lady's office issued a statement Tuesday saying Ricardel no longer deserves the honor of serving in this White House. While sources tell CBS News Mrs. Trump doesn't know Ricardel personally, she reportedly clashed with the First Lady's staff during last month's trip to Africa over plane seating arrangements and national security resources. The First Lady's statement came about an hour after Ricardel participated in the president's celebration of Diwali, and the White House confirmed she's still working today. Mrs. Trump has also reportedly clashed with White House Chief of Staff John Kelly over issues such as staffing and travel requests. But the First Lady's communications director says that's not true. Her office issued a statement saying Mrs. Trump has a very positive relationship with Chief Kelly, and there have never been any issues between the two. For more than a year, Kelly himself has been the subject of rumors he's ready to quit or will be fired. But the departure of one of his allies may be the final straw.
Are you firing Secretary Nielsen?
White House sources say Homeland Security Secretary Kirstjen Nielsen is on her way out, but how and when she leaves remain up in the air. Nicole Killian, CBS News, the White House.
Over in the Middle East, two rival Lebanese Christian leaders reconciled Wednesday, ending 4 decades of enmity triggered by a massacre of dozens during Lebanon's civil war that lasted 15 years in 1975. Samir Geagea, leader of the Lebanese Forces Group, and Slimane Frangi of the Marada Party shook hands and kissed each other on the cheeks at the headquarters of the Maronite Christian Church north of Beirut. The reconciliation was sponsored by Cardinal Bakara El-Rai, head of the Maronite Church, Lebanon's largest. More migrant caravan groups are getting closer to the U.S.-Mexico border. Some of them have their sights set on Tijuana, right across the border from San Diego. In preparation of their arrival, troops started shutting down lanes at border crossings.
This is what the work looks like in Brownsville for Army engineering units. They've been spending their time stretching razor wire for miles based on recommendations from U.S. Customs and Border Protection.
Ready? Up. For us, it's great to be able to come and apply some of the engineer skills and capabilities that we have in support of a fellow governmental agencies.
The orders from the Pentagon will keep them here up to December 15th. President Trump has said as many as 15,000 troops could be sent to the border from Texas to California. For now, 1,300 of them are here in the Rio Grande Valley, and they'll likely spend Thanksgiving here.
Try to time down on that.
I signed up for this, and you know that going in that you're going to miss holidays or anniversaries or birthdays.
Military officials say they will not be enforcing immigration laws or engaging with migrants trying to cross illegally. Their work at this point is strictly to help provide infrastructure support like building barriers.
The national controversy surrounding these efforts isn't something that is lost on these troops. However, if you talk to them, they'll tell you they're just simply doing a job.
The military presence, the way it is right now, has taken a community that's peaceful, that's happy, that's family, and now we're like, what's going on?
Michael Seifert from the ACLU in Brownsville has been a vocal critic of the troops' deployment. He says their presence amounts to political theater following a contentious midterm election.
The election cycle's over. It's time to move on, get those people back home, and please take your barbed wire with you.
While the caravan of thousands of asylum seekers continues to move forward, the troops will remain here on orders from the Pentagon, and so will questions of what will happen if and when large crowds arrive at our border.
I don't understand why they need to be here for this long.
And after the break, we'll be back with your weather and sports. Stay tuned.
Thailand, 13 souls trapped. A desperate search begins.
This is the most dangerous diving in the world.
As the world watches, a miracle unfolds.
How many of you? 13. Brilliant.
But can they escape as the water rises?
The entire thing was mission impossible.
Thai Cave Rescue on Nova.
Tonight at 9 and Thursday at noon on Public TV 13.
And welcome back to your Public Eye News. I'm Grant Lukens, your weatherman. As you can see behind me, we have the beautiful and snowy NMU campus. And currently it is sunny with a temperature of 25, winds south at 6 miles an hour, and a barometric pressure at 30.52 and falling. And taking a look at tonight, it is going to be clear with a low of 23, winds south-southwest at 15 miles an hour. And moving on to tomorrow, it is going to be cloudy with a high of 38, wind south-southwest at 20. And moving across the UP, we see that it is sunny in very many areas. But up in Sault Ste. Marie, it is 20 and cloudy. In Monastique, it is 26 and partly sunny. And in both Escanaba and Menominee, it is 27 and sunny. And taking a look at the western half of the UP, we see that in Iron Mountain, it is 25 and sunny. And in Ironwood, it is 28 and sunny. And up in Houghton, it is 26 and cloudy. And in beautiful, beautiful Marquette, it is 25 and sunny. And we can take a look at our week ahead, starting off with Friday with a high of 35, low of 24 and some snow. Saturday, a high of 27, low of 14 and cloudy. And Sunday, a high of 26, low of 16 and mostly cloudy. Well, Vaughn, there's some beautiful weather coming up, but I hear you have our basketball team doing beautiful things.
Certainly, we seem to be on a roll, so
that's
hopefully
right.
we keep it up. A strong second half led the Wildcats to victory in men's basketball last night against the University of Minnesota Duluth, and the team is off to a 3-0 record to start the season. The Wildcats outscored the Bulldogs 39-17 in the second half on their way to a 64-52 victory. This is the first time the team has started the season with a 3-0 record since 2008. Key players for the Wildcats were seniors Naba Echols and Isaiah Johnson, who led the team with 18 points each. And the women's Wildcat basketball team was not so lucky against the Bulldogs last night as they suffered the first setback of the season, falling 51-45. It all came down to the shooting, where the Wildcats did not capitalize on open shots as they had a 29.5% field goal percentage compared to the Bulldogs' 32.9%. The women's team now has a 2-1 record for the season and will return to action Friday afternoon when they host Minnesota State University Mankato in the Barrie Events Center. In the NHL, the Chicago Blackhawks will host the St. Louis Blues for their fourth meeting of the season tonight at the United Center. Blackhawks defenseman Brandon Davison will not play in tonight's game against the rival Blues because of a right leg injury, according to reports. The Blackhawks will look to snap their current 8-game losing streak, and the Blues will look to pick up another win over the Blackhawks since the two teams last met in October. Puck drop is set for 7 p.m. Eastern Time. And I hear you've got quite a tale for us today, huh, Caleb?
I do, about a woman who's just a little bit too angry. Hangry is a common expression for the state of being extremely angry due to being hungry. Well, a woman in Santa Ana took this expression to new heights. Police in Santa Ana, California are looking for a woman who pushed, punched, and choked a McDonald's worker around 11 p.m. October 27th because she wanted ketchup. The customer had gone through the drive-thru, and when she entered the building through the employee door and demanded the condiment, video released by the police showed the woman attacking the manager after being told she could not be in the building and was pulled off by a man that was believed to have been with the suspect. And can a football team be so bad that it causes a drunk driving accident? A man in West Milford was charged with drunk driving after he rear-ended another car on Sunday. An hour after the New York Jets lost to the Buffalo Bills, the man claimed, quote, "I drank too much because the Jets suck," unquote. Police found an open bottle of whiskey and suspected marijuana in the car. That's all the time we have for you today at Public Eye News. Thank you for tuning in, and we will see you tomorrow.
In studios located in the Edgar L. Hardin Learning Resources Center by WNMU-TV, Northern Michigan University Public